OK, so in this case, or in this problem, what they're asking us to do is to find tangent of 2u. But they give us secant. Well, what does secant tell us? Again, remember, first of all, we look at this. Is this point on the unit circle negative 5/2?
No.
No. So therefore, we know we have to create a triangle. And we know our triangle has to be within our constraint, which is pi halves and pi, which is going to be in the second quadrant. So therefore, to create my triangle, because this is pi halves and that's pi, to create my triangle, remember, I have to make sure I create a 90-degree angle. And I always use my central angle as my angle of value that I'm using. So now I just need to label it. Well, secant, remember, what is secant? Secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So therefore, cosine would be 2 over 5 negative, right? Which that is adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, your hypotenuse is not going to be negative. So it has to be your adjacent, which obviously would make sense. So I have 5 over negative 2. But to determine tangent, yes, to determine tangent, I got to know the tangent of u. So therefore, I got to figure out what is this value. So I have to go to my Pythagorean theorem. And let's call this a. Huh? Square root of 21? Well, let's see here. Right? A squared plus negative 2 squared equals 5 squared. Well, this becomes a squared plus 4 equals 25. Minus 4 minus 4. A squared equals 21. Take the square root, take the square root. A equals plus or minus the square root of 21. Well, in the second quadrant, is it positive or negative? Positive. So yes, the square root of 21. So now, do we know tangent?
Yes.
Opposite over adjacent. So now let's go ahead and plug that in. You mean negative 2 squared? Yeah. Right, so negative 2 times negative 2 would be positive 4. No, it says find cosine of 2u, sine of 2u, and tangent of 2u. So now we just plug them in. So I'll give myself a little bit of space. So I have 2 times opposite square root of 2, square root of 21 over negative 2, divided by 1 minus the square root of 21 over 2, or negative 2, squared. Well, these are obviously going to divide into 1, leave me with the negative square root of 21 on the top. Does everybody see what happened there? That's a whole number. That's a negative 2 in the denominator. And then over here, when I square these, I'm actually going to do the work over here. When I square these, you square the numerator and you square the denominator, so you get, right? Yes? OK. Then I can convert this to 4 over 4. Right? Change the 1 to 4 over 4 since it has the same denominator. Then I can subtract them. 4 minus 21 is going to be negative 17 over 4. Correct? OK. So that means my fraction over here is negative 17 over 4. Well, you can't have a number divided by a fraction, so then we always have to multiply by the reciprocal. Oh, and notice we have a negative divided by a negative, right? So now that goes to positive. And my final answer is going to be 4 square root of 21 over 17. And that's it. OK? Questions? Good?